Today we're making Peruvian green noodles. In Spanish it's called Tallerin Verde. We learned about this recipe when we were living in Arequipa, Peru. We lived there for 5 years and we fell in love with Peruvian food. And this was one of the meals that I found was simple enough and healthy enough that I could make it at home. And there's one member of my family who really loves it. Megan, is this your favorite dish?
Yeah.
She's a small girl. She's only 8 years old, but she can eat a lot of this. Our family has lived in 5 countries over the last 13 years, and we have discovered lots of delicious and healthy food while living abroad. I love learning how to cook local foods, and the kids love to help too. We want to show you how to make my favorites that are so good they become part of our menu at home, and we know you'll love them too. So as you can see, I have a big pile of spinach here. And this is basil, fresh basil, and so we're going to prepare this to begin making green noodles. We are pulling off all of the stems off of the spinach leaves and the basil leaves. And the reason why we take the stems off is because the stem is what gives the noodles a really bitter taste. So if you take the stems off first, it'll have a better flavor in your sauce. Put all of the ingredients that we have into this colander. So one of the reasons why I like this dish is because it is really good for kids to get all of their vegetables in without actually having to eat them. They can be fooled because they're in the sauce. And living here in Latin America, we have to worry about parasites and things on our fresh fruits and vegetables. The other reason I like this dish is because this sauce is actually cooked. So I can just rinse the dirt off of these, but we don't have to worry about any other kinds of bacteria because we're going to cook the sauce. Before we start making the sauce, we're going to saute a little bit of onion, about a tablespoon. And I really do not like to chop onion every time I make a recipe, and so every month or so I chop up about 5 or 6 onions and I put them in little Ziploc bags and I keep them in the freezer. And that way I don't have to cry every time I'm cooking something. Okay, so Megan, will you turn this on for me? Oh, it's already on. Okay, hit this button here. Okay, and we're going to turn it on. And I have an induction stovetop. This is the first time I've ever had one of these. I really like it. I had to buy some new pots though because it has a magnetic connection. But it works with cast iron even, which is nice. And it keeps the temperature nice and even, which is good for slow cooking. So I put in a little bit of onion and I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And this is just to saute the onion and give it some flavor. I learned to cook Peruvian noodles from a Peruvian friend named Gladys, and she taught me about cooking the onion in the oil and then mixing the sauce in the blender, and then once we get that sauce mixed, we'll put it in here and finish the sauce. So we've collected our ingredients here, and we're going to put in about 1/4 cup of cream cheese, put in a teaspoon of salt. We're going to put in 2 cloves of garlic, and one of the nice convenience items that I can buy here in Ecuador is already chopped garlic, which I love. And then we're going to put in about a cup, a little bit less of evaporated milk. Good job. And then 1/4 cup of walnuts. Okay, so we're going to start this blender, get it blended, and then we're going to add the spinach and the albahaca, or the basil. Okay, so go ahead and hit blend. This one? Okay, so as you can see, we have a very nice sauce. And it looked really green at the end, so I added a little bit more cream cheese. You can also add a little more milk if you wanted to. So we're gonna take this sauce now over to the saucepan that we have over here with the onion and the oil. And we're gonna turn this burner back on. And we're going to cook our sauce. All right, so we have our sauce here. It's gonna start warming up, and this water is boiling for our noodles. So we're gonna go ahead and add our noodles now. And you can use any kind of noodles you want. You can use spaghetti noodles, we use. That's the typical way they eat it in Peru. And we have started doing a lot of gluten-free noodles. So these are chia spaghetti noodles. And they're gluten-free, but they're really good, and the kids hardly notice a difference. So I'm going to turn this temperature up a little bit again to get it boiling. And I'm going to cut these in half, just like that.
Do I do that?
Can you? Are you strong enough? Look at those muscles. All right. Got those? And we're going to do 2 packages because this is a pretty small package. It's only 8 ounces. So I think with all of these noodles, it could feed about 6 or 7 people. Depends on how hungry they are. This actually makes a lot of sauce though. Nice. Careful with your fingers. Our 12-minute timer went off. Our noodles are done, and I strained them and put them back in the pot. They don't look very pretty, but they're not your typical kind of noodle. So now I'm going to add the green sauce. Watch your face. So I'm just going to pour the green sauce on top of the noodles. And stir it up to make sure that there's enough. So our noodles are done, and this is the meat that I put in the crock pot earlier this morning. And I just bought at the store just regular soup meat that was already cut up because it's just easier that way. I put it in the crock pot with salt and pepper and water, and it's been cooking for about 6 hours or so. To plate the meal, which is very typical Latin style, is that when you have a family meal or people over, it doesn't matter. The meal is always plated. So I'm going to show you that today, how we plate Peruvian noodles. And when we have this meal at home, I do the same thing. I will make a plate for each member of my family. And I make a lot for you, huh, Megan? So I put the green noodles down first, and then I add the steak on top. If you don't like steak, you can also do chicken. It's just not going to be as authentic as Peruvian, but it's fine, it'd be good. So you put the meat on, and then you put the Parmesan cheese on top. And you're good to go. Want some? Yeah?
Yeah. If you like this video, smash the like button below.
And if you want to see more videos like it, hit the subscribe button and then hit the little bell next to it so you can always know when new videos come out.